So hello guys, welcome back, and today we are going to learn how to calculate national incomes, which is usually taught in grade 12th in class in India in the subject economics. So let's begin with it. And national income, which is also known as NNP at FC. NNP at FC, what does it mean? NNP at FC means net national product at factor cost. Net national product at factor cost. Net national product at factor cost. So basically we have there are three subtopics which or we can say three methods how to calculate NNP at FC. So first one we learn that first one we have to learn is which is value added method, which is related from either production. Yes, it is related from production. And how do when we produce things, what are the value added by all the three sectors in an economy. Second method is about expenditure method. It is related from the activities that the households, government and the firms, what are the all expenditures total summed up, and then we calculate national income. Then we have the last one, which is income method, in which we calculate and sum up all the incomes of all the four sectors we have, and we calculate national income. So national income or NNP at FC. So let's begin with that. So first of all we have value added method. So value added method, in first we have to calculate value of output. This means value of output refers to that when there is a formula, value of output, which is sales plus change in stock. So it tells what are the according to a firm, the sales done by it and the stock change during the whole year. When we add them, we get value of output. So what are the output what we are producing, what is the value we are adding, and then we have from value of output we have to calculate what is that called, value of output. Then we have to calculate GVA at MP, gross value added at market price, which has a formula, GVA at MP, which is value of output minus purchases, or what we can say intermediate consumption. We have done with that. And GVA at MP, when we do summation of GVA at MP, when we add a sigma sign, it gives us GDP at MP, and from GDP at MP we can very easily go to NNP at FC, which is our national income. What we have to do is we have to subtract depreciation and net indirect taxes, which is NIT, and add NFIA to get to that our final result. So this is our value added method. And now next we have the income method. I'm going to start with income method. I have an acronym made for that, and which is PRIME, and this one gives us domestic income first. The domestic income of the country, which is NDP at FC. From NDP at FC we have to go to NNP at FC. So first of all let us see how to calculate NDP at FC. NDP at FC, what we do, we add operating surplus, then we add compensation of employees, and then we add mixed incomes. Operating surplus, which are the incomes from of an entrepreneur or a person running a business, which is profits plus interest and rent and royalty, which an entrepreneur had given to someone and is reaping out rent from that. Then we add compensation of employees, which includes wages or salaries in cash or in kind, and then we add the employer's contribution to social security scheme. These are the components of compensation to employees. And then we add mixed incomes. Mixed income refers to all the income which is generated, like there is a doctor who runs his own practice. When he earns something, all of that that comes under mixed income. When we add all of these, we get NDP at FC, which is domestic income of a country. So we have to go from domestic income to national income. These are two. Domestic incomes are which are in the territory of a country, and we have national income. National income, from domestic income to national income, we have to add net factor from abroad. Net factor from abroad, which we can calculate from factor income from abroad, and we subtract factor income to abroad from that. So net factor from abroad minus net factor to abroad, which gives us net factor from abroad, which is NFIA. We have to add NFIA. When we add this NFIA, we get NNP at FC, which is our national income. At last, we have expenditure method. I also have an acronym for that. We had acronym for the second method, which was prime, profit, rent royalty, interest, compensation of employees, and then mixed incomes. Now we have expenditure method. So first of all, we have private final consumption expenditure. Then we add gross investment, which is also known as gross domestic capital formation, in which we all cover the investments made by a firm or people in a country throughout the year. And then we add government final consumption expenditure. And then we add X minus M. What does X minus M means? It means export minus imports. So when we add all of this, we get the same result as we used to get in the first one method, which was value added method. We get GDP at MP, gross domestic product at market price. And from go to GDP at MP to NNP at FC, which is national income, we have to subtract depreciation, and then we have to subtract depreciation and NIT, net indirect taxes, and add NFIA. So therefore we get to our national income. Now, what were the components in this expenditure method? First of all was private final consumption expenditure. From that, the first sector of our economy, households. All the expenditures which has happened in the household does come under this heading. Then we have gross investment. It refers to all the investment made by the firms, or the capital formation which has been done by the firms in our country. Then we have government final consumption expenditure. Government final consumption expenditure means that all the expenditure which has been incurred by the government for the sake of our nation. And then we have export minus import. All of these would have given us the domestic result, and by adding net exports, which is exports minus imports, we could have gone to GDP at MP. And then after adding NFIA, I am repeating that, we get to NNP at FC, which is national income. So now we have learned all the three methods how to calculate NNP at FC, which is national income. I hope you liked today's lecture. Thank you and bye.